Sorry for the extended intermission. However, sometimes breaks are paramount to one's continued personal success and well being. When I started this channel, I always had ideas for various types of content so that I can appeal to a variety of viewers. However, soon taking notice upon the almost instant negative comments and responses, it kind of threw me for a loop. But that had nothing to do with my absence. I have to kind of say I felt a little torn between work and finding the right balance and methods to produce content. Thus, pleased, I am nervous and proud that I have decided to just go with it and see what happens. Nothing great can come from doing just nothing. I am Mr. B, and welcome back. This is Brilliance in Motion Speaks.
Each of us has a moral responsibility if we are of voting age and if we are registered to participate in that decision. And so I come to California today, and I'll leave here and go to Chicago and then to Detroit and then Baltimore, Maryland, and New York to say the same thing. I come here to urge every person under the sound of my voice to go to the polls on the 3rd of November and vote your convictions. Now, I know you're intelligent people, and I don't need to tell you who you should vote for. I don't have any fear about that. You know who to vote for. I'm just asking you to vote. Now, just if you need a little information on my convictions at this point, I must honestly admit to you that I am not going to vote for Mr. Goldwater.
I could be wrong, but as I think about the history of the voting and civil rights injustices and inequalities that our people had to face in our not so distant past, even occurring systematically today, I can't imagine life as if it would feel like for us not to be able to do something such as simple as voting today.
Poll tax certificate from 1960. This is when we had to pay poll tax. You had to choose between feeding your family or voting. You only made $2 a week because you didn't have jobs that we have today. Okay. So a lot of us didn't vote because that was voter suppression. We decided to feed our family. What do? Vote or feed your family.
And what year was this, ma'am?
1960.
And this is yours?
This is my original.
Wow.
I have the original.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You see, more often than we would like to think about it, we go through life each and every day, not even thinking about the liberties and freedoms that we have today. We often talk about who stood, who fought, who died, but how do we honor those or pay tribute to those first, those greats, or those who even attempted to pierce the barriers that we're still breaking through today? We don't think about anything until the minute we lose them, or they become threatened. Then and only then, most often too late, we're ready to raise hell on earth to try to make a change and say, hey, my voice should count, my voice should be heard, or what I think or feel should matter. My question is, why do we take voting for granted? I have heard people say that they're choosing not to participate in the election by not voting or being independent or whatever that may mean to them. I'm not sure. But when it's all said and done, we have to deal with the hand that we're dealt when the card is drawn for the person that has these offices. The laws that are passed and the things that we may or may not find beneficial, we have to respectively deal with as well. It will affect all of us because there's no except you clause. Well, unless your name is Kim or Putin. But if you don't vote, I'll tell you that there could be a third name on that list. But I digressed on that as well. But by not voting, you are voting. You're voting against or for the leader that could or maybe shouldn't be in office. Then they say that they don't want to think about the past. Everything that happened was then long ago. And what's done is done. I want to live for today. But the past, dear Sherlock, is why we're able to have the liberties and freedoms that we have today. Honor your past and stand and take action for the future.
Black people in Mississippi had to pay $2 to vote. The white folks didn't pay nothing.
In what year? And what year was that?
That was 1960.
1960.
But then here comes the ones that truly believe that God himself makes these choices for us. They say Whoever the Lord decides to place in office will be there, and that's that. Then they find themselves praying to that same deciding power to help them through the difficult time that they could have helped us all avoid it if they just simply voted. I know in your mind it may be difficult, possibly unfathomable, to even comprehend that your vote counts. But if you don't make the time to put your voice in the ballot box, then it won't. I'm not here to say that you should vote one way or the other, but just say something. Don't just let the opportunity pass you by. Today, we stand against corporations and big businesses that are widening the gap of disparity while leaving us thinking that the big fight continues to reside on the color of our skin and not the content of our character. Today, large companies that are shutting down are watering down the truth. They're putting it out there on Front Street and saying that the only thing matters are the interests of their shareholders. The same ones, mind you, that are voting for the people that will make their account balances larger and us regular Americans smaller. I'm not saying that the fight of character, color, and creed is no longer the case, but after a while, none of that will matter. We all will look the same, broke, homeless, and helpless, if we don't stand and use our voice to vote. Damn the color of your skin and the content of your character, because money will be all that matters. Every time we allow a person to take office that does not have our interests of liberty and freedom and of the people in their best interests, we get set further back. And you know what happens the further you get back? It fades to black.
And what are you about to do today?
I'm about to vote free. I got victory in my feet.
Yes, Lord. I know that. Let me see what